Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. To start things off, Changpeng Zhao, CEO of Binance, says one of his biggest goals in 2020 is to give people around the world the ability to buy crypto using any and every fiat currency that they have access to in a new letter of the year ahead. Zhao said the company also has a number of new acquisitions in the works. He said one of the goals for 2020 is to bring crypto to the masses. For this, we aim to enable fiat to crypto trading for 180 plus fiat currencies. We always have a number of strategic acquisition discussions in the works. A couple of them are major and will have a significant impact. We will announce it in due time. Zhao says last year was like building the foundations of a house. In 2019, the digital asset exchange introduced several products, including margin trading, staking, lending, and cryptocurrency futures contracts. Changpeng Zhao says his team is also working to beef up security because of the security breach. As for the future of Bitcoin in the decade ahead, he said this year also marks a new decade, which is crazy to think about. I don't know if you guys have seen all the, not memes floating around, but people talking about like we're in the 20s. And it's like we actually are in the 20s, which is kind of weird to even think about, which is meaningful when you look at things on the long-term horizon. As Bill Gates said, most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. He said by 2030, not only will blockchain and crypto still be around, they will be everywhere. Crypto will be used to pay for self-driving versions of Uber, which I'm excited about. We've spoken about that before. Crypto will be used to buy things from half a world away and have them delivered to you by drones. Crypto will be used to fund biotech research. Crypto will be used to fund ambitious projects like going to Jupiter. And he said, okay, maybe not by 2030, but who knows? I wouldn't even dare to make any price predictions on the timescale, but neither is a prediction important. What's important is blockchain and crypto will be used everywhere, and we won't even think about it, much like databases are used in almost all applications today, and we don't think about it either. Here's the actual letter from him that he sent out on the Binance blog. I'm not sure if you felt it. Maybe it's just on my end. Maybe it's just with me and my friends. Maybe we are psychically linked in that sort of way. I feel the excitement in the air, and it's just not affecting us. It's affecting a lot of other people as well. A lot of people, I'll be honest with all of you, it's feeling a lot like 2017 again. Even with prices currently down, I'm getting people asking me once again how to get into crypto, where to buy, and it's shocking me because I typically don't see this type of energy and or movement around the cryptocurrency space unless prices are really shooting up. But for some reason, a lot of people are buying in again. People are asking where to buy, how to store. I've had a couple of friends talk about getting a Nano ledger because they heard it from somewhere else and they need one as well because they want to keep their crypto safe, which is also fascinating as well, that I've seen a lot of people, I don't know if it's been on normal news. That part I don't know. That's the part that's kind of, and not weirding me out, but the fact that people know now that normal people are asking me about Nano ledgers and how to keep their crypto safe and offline and all this other stuff and on cold storage lets me know that crypto is a lot more mainstream than I had recently expected. The entire point being, focusing back on the entire Binance thing. Remember when I mentioned, and I don't know if how many of you were here at that time, in 2018, I kept on saying, it's a real shame because we only have about 5 different fiat currencies that people can actually buy with into the cryptocurrency market. It was the US dollar, Japanese yen, it was the euro, the pound, and I think the Canadian dollar. Everything else was kind of like, well, good luck, you can't enter the crypto market. I know that Binance isn't perfect. Got it. I've seen people tell me the wrong that they've done or how corporation-y that they can be, but the fact that they are doing what not even the Gemini twins and or Coinbase is doing, trying to get every single country on this planet to be able to put their money into the cryptocurrency space, is fantastic. So kudos to them. Here's to the decade ahead, which is going to be, I think, absolutely nuts. Here's his letter. Once again, I hate when he says Binanceans, but that's the word that they use. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, commercial banks should work on their own transfer systems as an alternative to Facebook's Libra. This was urged by Jens Weidmann, president of the Bundesbank and member of the Governing Council of the European Central Bank. Banks in the euro area should explore tools for faster, cheaper transfers, but also be cautious about avoiding Libra and cryptocurrency technologies from the private sector. This was reported by Bloomberg. Weidmann also differentiated himself from the stance of the European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde, not expecting the bank to jump in and offer a crypto asset of their own. He said, "I'm not in favor of always immediately calling on the state to come up with solutions." Weidmann said in a Handelsblatt interview on Thursday, the 2nd of January, in a market economy, it's up to companies to develop products that meet customer demands. Weidmann stated he is not opposed to exploring digital assets, but has warned against rushing too fast without exploring the consequences. He added all currencies and transfer mechanisms should be open to audit to prevent money laundering. The European Central Bank has seen the rise of cryptocurrencies in the past decade, while itself battling the challenges of a sluggish European economy. The potential for crypto assets to bring unwanted dollarization or create a shadow economy has worried the bank as destabilizing to its monetary policy. Here's a good one. A lot of people probably didn't pick up on that either. The news has been over the last couple of weeks. I haven't included it because I think people were a bit fatigued by the amount of news about the cryptocurrency that allegedly China is creating. Apparently, the news goes, China is creating, and many other countries as well, are creating their own cryptocurrencies and or digital currencies as a way not only to get around the US dollar, but to have like a yenization or a euroization or an anti-US dollarization, kind of like the reason why many other fiat currencies right now don't permeate around the world is because they are paper. Or people may choose to swipe their card. If you're from China, you choose to swipe your card when you're in the US, you're not really using Chinese currency within the US. However, in a world where everything is completely digital and people can have apps and dApps and download stuff and they can choose to use either a euro or a renminbi as they're making payments and it goes through that one digital currency, well, that then strengthens other currencies except for the US dollar. The discussion has always been as well, at least for the past 5 years. Remember when we went over that article that was from, I believe, 2014 and or 15, where it was the UK, France, Germany, China. It wasn't India, and it was 2 other countries had come together to try and form a new central bank that would circumvent, or rather not even use, the US dollar. And I think the main currency that they were trying to use was the Chinese currency at that time. That went poof. I assume behind the scenes there was a lot of talking, discussions, and people were told, yeah, just don't, without getting into too much. Anyway, besides that, the idea now is that if the US dollar decides to digitize, this would cause an even further permeation of the US dollar because it could then technically be used worldwide. It already is used worldwide. A lot of countries are forced to use the US dollar. You probably don't know that. A lot of countries are told that they have to, if you want to sell certain like major products, there are many countries in the world, if you try to sell petrol, you actually have to sell it in the US dollar. Bet you didn't know that. And the other part is the shadow economy. It's the idea, this is why why there's now such a focus. Remember, we saw so much hate against cryptocurrencies and stablecoins, and now they're all like, well, you know, they're not that bad. Maybe we can also try to do them as well. The shadow economy, as they call it, is pretty much an economy that is based around decentralized cryptocurrencies because they can see the shadow of what's happening. They can see where the transactions are going, but there is no face to them. And this worries them because, and keep this in mind as well, the entire idea of a shadow economy, especially when talking about cryptocurrencies and or crypto assets. It's because if we have a situation in the future where Bitcoin, Litecoin, this coin, that coin all have private transactions and Bitcoin hits around 50, 60, 70, 80, 90,000 US dollars, who can see the transactions? I can see it, you can see it, but they can't see it, and that also worries them. And this is why they keep talking about the destabilization of their monetary policy. And I think it took me a while for this to really smack me in the face as well. It's more like Remember when we were talking about how I think it was the US Fed had pumped in I think it was 1 trillion. It definitely wasn't 1 billion. I think it was $1 trillion over the course of a 3-4 month period at the end of last year in order to stabilize the securities market, as it was put on multiple different platforms. We were discussing what healthy economy needs 100 billion pumped into it. What healthy economy needs $500 billion to stabilize it? What healthy economy needs 1 trillion US dollars to keep it afloat? In that same sentence, why is everyone so afraid of Libra? Why is everyone so afraid of Facebook? Why would a healthy economy on any means, any level, be afraid of a social networking platform creating their own currency? You're a world bank. You create the actual monetary policies. What's going on behind the scenes that is making you all so worried that you are shaking in your boots and now talking about creating your own digital currencies as well? Isn't that something really insane to think about? If the people who make world policies are afraid of a social media platform creating a digital coin called Libra, rocking their world or shaking their very foundation, that means that something behind the scenes is probably not right. And this is why many experts believe that we are going to shift rapidly towards an economy that is purely digital, and also one that is going to be based off of deflationary currencies relatively soon, because we see that inflationary currencies are not working. Also, thank you very much to the person who pointed this out. The other day when I was talking about the inflation rate of Bitcoin, they sent me something. I think it was a link, or I don't remember what it was. I don't know. I can't remember your username. Thank you very much for that, first of all. It says that the current inflation rate of Bitcoin, I believe, is 3.68. And after the halving, it will be 1.80 or 1.90, which is still under every single other fiat currency on this planet inflation-wise. So once again, thank you for those numbers. And two, that will make Bitcoin rarer and less inflationary than any other currency on this planet at the moment. And this is all while we keep getting news. We haven't gotten as much news the last couple of days, weeks, about Libra, and I'm sure you noticed it as well. Libra was in the news just about every other day, and then we had that entire thing where countries were asking for a moratorium, countries were asking for this, countries didn't like it, countries wanted them to go away, and now it's slowly starting to pop up once again. I saw a couple of articles at the very end, very end of last year, talking about Libra's dead, and then I started seeing articles going, well, Libra's dead, and here's how it could rapidly come back to life. We haven't heard anything official yet. I don't think that a company's plans to have a worldwide currency would simply flop because a couple of people are afraid or told them not to. Anyway, this is why they keep... Think of it. Do you understand the significance of the European Central Bank telling other banks to look for alternatives before Libra launches this summer? Do you get that? That's incredibly... The word isn't shady. It's worrying for their economy, which is also the one that we happen to be sitting in as well. Here's the actual article from Bloomberg right here. It says ECB's Weidmann urges Euro area banks to battle Facebook's Libra. Wow. Anyway, let's move on now. Next up, cryptocurrency mining giant Bitmain reportedly has plans to reduce its workforce by another 50%. On the 2nd of December, Chinese news media, wow, my gosh, what's wrong with me? News media outlet Wushu Blockchain reported that Bitcoin mining rig maker Bitmain has launched a personal optimization plan that will lay off a significant portion of its employees before the next Bitcoin halving, which is expected in May. The world's largest producer of cryptocurrency mining machines will reportedly hold an annual meeting. Why is everything happening on the 17th of January? There's a lot happening that day. There's like art gallery openings, new video games coming out. And it's expecting that the layoffs will be completed before the date. People familiar with the matter assume that the reason for the layoffs is the upcoming Bitcoin halving, which will cut the number of new coins awarded to miners by half. Dovey Wan, co-founder of Primitive Ventures, dubbed the Bitmain's layoffs as the first halvings. He said the layoffs are the first halving of 2020. That's terrible because those people are going to lose their jobs. In December 2018, Bitmain already ensured a massive layoff round, which also impacted another 50% of its employees. Bitmain said at the time that the layoffs were part of building a sustainable business, and that would continue to double down on hiring the best talent from a diverse range of backgrounds. For those of you who may not know what Bitmain is, or those of you who do know what Bitmain is, Bitmain, at least in 2017, beginning of 2018, was the largest, may still be the largest, no one knows, miner of Bitcoin around the entire planet. It was believed, according to charts, that they controlled anywhere from 42 to around 60% of all the Bitcoin hash mining rate power that was going around the entire world. Just one company responsible for possibly 60%. Since then, we have seen charts indicate that I believe it's now less than 10% or around 15% or lower, which people still don't believe. I'm also kind of skeptical because you can just create other companies and other subsidiaries and say, that's not us, and it still is under your actual name. The point being is that we're getting a lot of layoff news. And I think people, especially myself, originally believed when we were getting this news in the middle of 2018 that these layoffs were because funding was low, and it appears that maybe they are just coming to the realization that they don't need as many employees, and they can still do with only half, and they will probably be making more money. Anyway, this was all over the place. I mean, it's significant, but there are other layoffs also happening as well. But I mean, Bitmain is the largest mining company that so they say. The news changes every week. Anyway, Bitmain's having layoffs. I hope you are not one of the people. And let's move on. Mark Hipperson, who was the head of technology for the Barclays Group for over a decade, as well as the co-founder and former CTO at UK challenger bank Starling, is planning a Q1 2020 launch for his latest digital bank venture, known as Tsiglu. Billing himself as the next step in the challenger bank concept, the all-digital account will allow multiple currencies, both fiat and digital, to be held in the same account. The free account will not just... Why did I say it that way? The free account will not just be able to hold balances in multiple currencies, but also freely exchange funds between them. Okay. Foreign currencies will be available to buy and sell at interbank rates. Cryptocurrency purchases and sales will be available at the best price across multiple exchanges. Not only that, according to the Tsiglu website, any currency held in the account can be spent anywhere in the world using a MasterCard debit card. That includes cryptocurrency, which will be converted instantly at point of sale. Okay, this is making a lot of promises. Hipperson has been the CEO of Tsiglu since September 2018, and the company has applied to the United Kingdom's Financial Conduct Authority, or the FCA, to become an insurer of electronic money. Currently, pre-launch applications are being taken, but only from United Kingdom residents, although there are plans to expand this in the future, specifically... Right. Cool. That's actually kind of fascinating. I think a lot of people, my gosh, I'm tired of these things constantly... Where was I? The point being, forgot where I was. This is interesting. We haven't had a lot of news recently about banks or completely digital banks opening, and the fact that we now have one, I don't know. I find news stories like this kind of cool. It's interesting that we have alternatives to banks, but people really... Or rather, these alternatives haven't necessarily caught on as of yet. I don't know. I find stuff like this kind of cool. I think the entire idea of having a free account, for those of you who don't know, and I say this not as financial advice, I say this as a friendly voice, a friendly ear. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I've noticed a lot of people, whether it be friends, families, members... A lot of people have very expensive bank accounts. A lot of people have accounts that they can't do very simple things that I can do with my own bank account. If you have not heard of a free bank account, they do exist. Try to find one. And they're usually completely digital as well. I've noticed a lot of people telling me before that they couldn't transfer funds or couldn't go to their bank because the branch was closed. And I'm like, you don't have an online free bank. They do exist. This is not advertising for them. It's more of a I keep seeing people telling me that they're paying a lot for their account per month, taking out money from their account. And most free accounts also allow you, they give you like a debit card, and you can use it around the world for free. Like you can, whatever country you're in, like you're not charged for using your own money. And I'm surprised that this hasn't really caught on yet. I don't know what's wrong with a good chunk of 1.8 billion people on the planet who continue to pay for bank accounts, or who don't realize that they can use their money for free and transfer their money as well. Anyway, the idea of more banks that have free accounts and also to freely transfer funds between them, like this is the kind of stuff. Remember when I always say, I'm like, why hasn't a lot of this stuff caught on? Why haven't, and I dare use the M word, why haven't millions of people around the world who are protesting right now realized what Bitcoin is, what Bitcoin's used for, or how Bitcoin can benefit them during their time of protest? Why is it that billions of people on the planet are still paying banks to use your own money when there are free bank accounts out there? It's like knowing that you can walk on the sidewalk, but you walk into a muddy puddle because you're like, it's just mud, and it doesn't, nothing's clicking for me in my head, and I fear that other people's minds won't click until it's too late. Like, how do you, we have free bank accounts already. We have cryptocurrencies that allow anyone on the planet to send money freely to someone else, whoever they want to. And it's kind of like a, there was a thing, not to spend too much time on this, but there was something that happened a couple of weeks ago where people were in a protest. There's protests all over the world right now. And I think people's bank accounts were being shut down, and that shut down the protest. And I was like, do you know what year it is? Like, do you know what a computer is? Like, I'm sure you all have smartphones. Like, no one sent a text and was like, hey, has anyone heard of Bitcoin? Let's start using that. I don't get what's going on in humans' minds right now. Yay for free crypto bank account this year. Let's move on. Next up, the same exact way. According to a report, this is according the news that we have gotten, Qatar's financial watchdog, the Qatar Financial Center, or the QFC Regulatory Authority, has prohibited trading in cryptocurrencies, adding that the ban has been imposed on anything of value that acts as a substitute for currency that can be digitally traded or transferred and can be used as a payment or investment purposes. So anything that is crypto, digital, token, investment, DLT, blockchain based. The aforementioned report claimed that Qatar's regulatory authority released a comment regarding the same statement, saying virtual asset services may not be conducted in or from the QFC at this time, end quote. According to the same, virtual asset services prohibition in the country now purportedly encompasses conversions between fiat currencies and virtual assets and crypto to crypto trading, while clamping down on cryptocurrency exchanges facilitating trading, storage, and issuance of these assets in any, my gosh. Okay, so pretty much you can't do anything with crypto in the country. You can't trade it. I assume sending it is also probably illegal. You can't swap from fiat to virtual currencies. I assume it's also backwards as well. You can't do crypto to crypto. So yeah, trading, storage, and or issuance. However, digital forms of securities, and this is the dumbest part, digital forms of securities or any other financial instrument under the purview of the QFCRA, the Qatar Central Bank, or the Qatar Financial Markets Authority, will still be allowed. So pretty much anything that was already there that's been digitized, any stock, bond, or mutual fund that they already know about that has been digitized, maybe with or without them knowing, can still be used. So here's the actual article, the source of the news, as it were. It's from internationalinvestment.net. It says Qatar blocks crypto asset services. I assume we'll get more news on this as time goes on. It's a little crazy, not unexpected, but I wonder, or rather, I'll say it this way. I assume, my assumption is that the reason for this is, I think a lot of people are starting to realize It took them a while, starting to realize what digital currencies are. And when I talk this way, I don't mean that cryptocurrencies are all high and mighty, that they are the answer to all problems, but they are an answer to many problems. And I think this is why we're seeing a backlash against cryptocurrency trading, cryptocurrency buying, selling, swapping, holding, and also why we see a number of countries clamping together, talking about how they don't like Libra and or stablecoins. I think they've come to the realization that not only is this movement not going to stop, but like Andreas Antonopoulos once said, he said, even if all cryptocurrencies that we have right now went to zero, were wiped out, the idea is still there. The box has been opened. People know a world and have had a taste of what it means to have a decentralized currency, to have a currency that can still be used even when other people are telling them, no, you cannot use it. And that eventually, at some point, if all coins went to zero and the entire crypto market were wiped out, within a year, we'd have about 3 new coins popping up and people would start using them again underground until eventually at one point, a company came forward and said, yeah, we're going to back this. We're going to support it. We're going to do so and so. We're going to start using it. And then 15 more would pop up. And then 100 more would pop up. And then within 10 years, we'd be exactly where we are right now. So if you are in that country and you can lend some type of a light onto this matter, secondly, good luck. I'm sorry this happened to you. And third, I still think, despite news like this, that the future is going to be very bright, regardless of what may be happening right now. And to finish things off, Bitcoin's hash rate is an interesting one. Bitcoin's hash rate is now 7 times. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times larger than it was during 2017 when Bitcoin hit $20,000 per coin. 7 times. Back in December 2019, while the price was, that's 17, while the price was reaching for 20,000, the hash rate was pushing towards an unprecedented 14 million terahashes per second. However, over the past few days, the Bitcoin network has pushed up to 95 million terahashes, from 14.6 to 95. All-time high is still higher than the rise in hash rate. It has actually cooled off a little over the past couple of months. Over the course of the year, it has been showing steady growth from around 40 exahashes, following a slight dip at the end of 2018. The news that we've had before, or what we have seen historically with Bitcoin, is that the hash rate is usually so we've been told, a good indication as to where Bitcoin's price is going to go. I.e., it shows not excitement in the market, it shows interest in the people who are mining, pretty much trying to get as much as they possibly can before the next reward gets cut in half, because they believe in the future price of Bitcoin, and therefore this is why they're mining it right now. The simplest way. I can't really put it any other fascinating way. The fact that it's 7 times higher, and we are a third of where we were before. Remember, I mentioned this as well, and I don't say these numbers like, is the word lackadaisically? I don't say them randomly. Remember, I kept on saying all the support that we're seeing, all the fiat gateways that we now have. We had 3, 4, 5 fiat gateways. I believe we now have over, 60 different fiat gateways around the world for people to be able to put their money into cryptocurrencies. It's no longer just Overstock. Overstock was the only company. Overstock was the only company in 2017 who was like, yeah, Bitcoin's kind of cool, we'll take it. We now have hundreds. Remember that that entire mall, I think it was in Slovenia, who accepts cryptocurrencies? Remember that other country who had a gigantic B for Bitcoin put in their roundabout? Like, we have so many more people in the market now. We have so much more interest. And this is part of the reason why I sit there sometimes and I'm like, the prices aren't really mimicking what they should be. I just moved my hand like something was wrong with me. However, the point being, 7 times higher. We have tons more interest, and yeah, the market is there. As always, sorry for screaming. A very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. I have to sneeze. Why do I always have to sneeze when I read the names? Oh gosh, if I have to sneeze, I'm sorry. Patreon supporters. Shoop Shoop Diddy Wop. Hummer Hummer Wang Dang. Bake Me a Cake. ARRF Medic 17. I don't know if that's supposed to be ARF. Medic 17. I'm just going to say ARRF. It does sound cooler as ARF though. Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Ting Tang, Walla Walla Bing Bang, Semi Buucha, Bodie McBoatface, Yes to Crypto, Miller Hitch Chest Every Day and Cal Skips Leg Day, Jeremy Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Jim Gardner, they're right next to each other, Minting Coins, Anthony Charles, I Have to Sneeze, Nick Mangialavori, Paxis, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Vlad the Impaler, Richie Rich III, Nick Kanaya, Setsuna, Damian, Nicholas, One Earth, One Piece, One Love, Cryptopolis, Nick, Strange Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Miluizi Adobo, Bankroll Network, Crypto Joe, I can feel the sneeze coming, 242 to the world, Why Is That Owl? Jared Schneider, Triple M and J, Woody and Daisy, Brady Niels, Master Ventures in Thailand, Moham Maroney, Adam Graysick, Todd Mullis, Barebones Mining, A Bibliophobia, The Animal Reader, John Sarson, Mr. Pickles, Nostromo, and Professor Wally from Gun Bot University. Thank you all very, very much for your support. I'm trying to wait. Hold on. I'm trying to hold it back. Okay. At the moment, for those of you who are unaware, good morning and welcome to this news. Prices are up, and prices have been up for the last couple of days. I'm trying not to hold my breath. It is difficult. The market cap is over, once again, 200 billion US dollars. Bitcoin is currently at $7,528. It has been doing exceptionally well. About a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Bitcoin was at $6,800. I was discussing with my friend who messaged me and was like, you see that Bitcoin's up $700 in a matter of days. There aren't many other asset classes in the world that can do that, or that will do that go up $700, more than a tenth of where they were before, in the span of about a week and a half. Bitcoin as an asset performs incredibly well. Ether is up by 3.69%. For those of you not looking at the screen, XRP is currently up by 5%. It has gone past 20 cents. It was struggling around. It was like 18.9 cents and 19.4. For some reason, it's up. And I assume during the course of the day, we may get more news as to why. Everything is green except for Tether, which is actually even going down on the chart. Typically, Tether is going completely sideways, even if there are fluctuations. This could be the beginning rattles of the energy around Bitcoin's reward getting cut in half. This could be renewed interest in the cryptocurrency market, like I told you. For some reason, I'm getting a lot of messages once again. It's very 2017-y, where people are asking me, hey, remember a couple of years ago, that crypto thing? How do I buy that? I'm getting those messages more and more often. It's nice to see the market in green. It's also nice to see that the market has been going up the last 7 or 8 days. Try not to hold my breath. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope that you all have and are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are. Wherever you might be, I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will definitely, sorry if I sound scared, I will definitely be talking to you all soon. I'm looking at the prices and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Talking to you all soon. See you.